How is everybody doing this fine day? I hope everybody had a great weekend. I certainly did. I hope everybody else had a great one too. My name is Alan Roberts. For those of you that are new here, uh, we normally go over like stuff that like very soft, weak people in society don't want to talk about. So if you're a soft, weak person, maybe skip this one for your own mental health. But you know, I do think that there are things we're about to talk about that will make it like so. Like if you are, a very weak person that doesn't like hearing the truth about stuff, maybe you might want to stick around because that's what I'm kind of trying to get to here. We are about to go over a very simple concept of how the daughter of Hagrid, Anna O'Brien, provides some perspective. Now, I'm not trying to be super like off with this or anything like that. I mean, I make a lot of videos about this woman, but I just had to. I mean, look at the look at her in comparison to an actual human. Like, and I know people are like, "Oh my God, you just dehumanized her." I am going to let you know that by this picture, here, actually, let's do this. Let's see if I can add something. Let's just take a look at this picture, shall we? Let's just take a look at it, right? The woman on the right, as you're looking at it, is not underweight. She is healthy. She is not by any stretch of the imagination too skinny, too thin. She is of a healthy weight. It looks like she has decent musculature to her legs, her arms, her shoulders. She has healthy looking hair, healthy looking skin. Realistically, just to point this out here to everybody, this is adult female human woman that is healthy and somebody that has eaten themselves to massive deformity. And this is right. And this is the problem. This is one of the things we're going to be talking about. She looks super thin just because she's next to somebody that has eaten themselves to multi-sized. That I agree, but that's a healthy lady. Exactly. And that's what I'm going to start getting at here. Like, society is playing a dangerous game right now. It's normalizing obesity is because it's redefining health and self-harm. Like, nobody can tell me that the woman that looks like she could eat three of the other women, like for real, that woman, the healthy woman could almost jump inside Anna if she was hollow and do jumping jacks and barely touch the fucking sides. I mean, it's like a very like awe-striking picture, if you ask me, because holy shit, this woman is huge. Like, I mean, you don't even get to see it until like she's standing next to like a normal human being, And when I say normal human being, again, not trying to insult Anna, but Anna insulted herself. When you've gluttoned yourself, take how many days was there where it's like, maybe if I didn't, I could change this behavior and not get to this. How many days in this woman's life, right? This woman has resorted to like her new method of getting healthy is just start having stuff chopped the fuck off of her. She just had the backs of her arms chopped off while they were still, in my opinion, full of fat. Like, I mean, she had a lot of fat tissue that got pulled off of them. Just chopping shit off like that is not a great idea, if you ask me. It's one thing if it's loose skin, but she still had full fat on the back of her arms. It was wild. Yeah, and her whole body is. I would almost guarantee that one of Anna's legs weighs more than this woman. I mean, almost fucking-tee it. Her leg from the hip down weighs more than that woman. Fucking easy. It's wow. Well, at least we haven't seen any more obese people on the cover of fitness magazines. Still remember when they did that? They'll still do it. They still talk about this as healthy and all that bullshit. They still do it. It's stupid. They still do it. But let's go to this. I want to read through this. This is an article I put together just for this topic. For some reason, I can't get it to go up. There it is. All right. So this is perspective. Society's dangerous dance. How normalizing obesity is redefining health and self-harm. The image plastered above isn't just a snapshot of two people at a Barbie-themed event. It's a glaring symbol of much bigger problems. A society that's decided to embrace obesity as the normal, as beautiful, and as healthy, while ignoring the cold hard truth. We've blurred the lines between self-love and self-harm, and I really do mean that. Like this woman, this Anna O'Brien talks about how much like self-love and all sorts of stuff. You hate yourself. You hate yourself on a daily basis by what you put into your mouth. You hate yourself. Like you talking about self-love is just delusional insanity. It's so next level off. We've blurred the lines between self-love and self-harm, and it's costing us dearly, not just in dollars, though the financial burden is staggering, but in lives, in quality of life, and the very fabric of what we understand as health. This isn't about shaming anybody. It's about waking up to reality. Obesity isn't a body positive badge of honor. It's a crisis, and we're all paying the price for pretending otherwise. The normalization of obesity, a dangerous shift in perception. Look around social media, pop culture, even some corners of the medical world are pushing the narrative that obesity is just another way to be. It's your truth or your authentic self. Campaigns scream, love your body at any size, while influencers parade excess weight as a rebellion against outdated beauty standards. But here's the problem. Health isn't about a feeling. It's not a hashtag. It's a measurable state of being, and science does not bend to societal trends. Obesity, defined as a body mass index of BMI of 30 or higher, it's really, obesity is, for me, a waist to height ratio of 0.5 and up. Morbid obesity is 0.6 and up, waist to height ratio. But I used BMI here just because people know it the most, right? The World Health Organization states that obesity is a major risk factor for non-communicable diseases, which account for 71% of deaths globally. That's not a statistic we can shrug off with a smile or live your best life mantra. By normalizing obesity, we've warped the definition of self-harm. Self-harm used to mean deliberate acts of injury, cutting, burning, and other forms of physical damage. But what about the slow, insidious harm of overconsumption? The daily choice to overload your body with calories, to ignore this warning signs of weight gain, to dismiss the strain on your heart, your joints, your entire system. That's self-harm too. And it's being repackaged as empowerment, which is massively dangerous. It's just, when you hear these people like, eat the cake. Maybe if you're 400 pounds, you don't eat the fucking cake. Maybe if you're 250 pounds, maybe if you're 200 pounds as a woman, you don't eat the fucking cake. Because you have a number at the beginning of your weight that no woman, unless they're extremely, extremely tall, should have. You guys do not have the bone structure. You do not have the hormones to justify 200 plus pounds, unless you're extremely tall. And I'm talking like 6'9", 6'10" tall. You guys just don't have the bone frame to hang that much meat on. It's not mean. It's not mean. There is, and this is why other lines can't be blurred either. I hope everybody understands that. Because there is a difference between males and females in bone density, bone structure, structural biomechanics. Like our hip sockets are formed very differently. In that males, the neck of the femur that connects to the ball that goes into your hip socket, that neck is at an angle that is, I believe, 17% different than females because it's for childbearing, but it's also, that's why women athletes tend to get ACL injuries easier than men. Like, we are not biologically the same, and trying to pretend that we are has also blurred a bunch of these lines about health, and that's a problem. But I digress. The self-harm too, and it's being repackaged as an environment. We're telling people it's okay to hurt themselves as long as they feel good about it. That's not progress. That's a betrayal of what health should mean. And it's really disgusting that we do that in society. I'm just saying, it's disgusting that Anna does it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Let's talk about the real cost of normalization. Chronic illness. Obesity isn't just a standalone issue. It's a gateway to cascade of health problems. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which hasn't controlled or prevented any diseases since its inception, obesity increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by up to 7 times in those with those of a healthy weight. It doubles the risk of cardiovascular disease, heart disease, the leading cause of death in the United States. It's also linked to 13 types of cancer, including breast, colon, and endometrial cancer, as reported by the National Cancer Institute. And that's just the start. Obesity contributes to hypertension, stroke, sleep apnea, osteoarthritis, and even mental health disorders like depression and anxiety. Here's the kicker. 90% of all healthcare expenditures in the United States are tied to chronic illness, and the vast majority of those are driven by poor lifestyle choices. The American Diabetes Association estimates that 1 out of every $3 in healthcare spending goes towards diabetes. 1 in every $3 of our healthcare spending goes towards diabetes in some way, when in fact, diabetes is completely avoidable, mitigatable, or reversible in 95% of the cases by lifestyle. But yet 33% of $4.5 trillion. So in other words, $1.5 trillion in healthcare burden is just for diabetes. Think about that shit. $1.5 trillion per year. That's crazy shit. That's amazing to me. That's a disease with where obesity is the prime risk factor in 85% of the cases. The lifestyle of overconsumption, eating too much, moving too little, and prioritizing convenience over health is the root of this epidemic. Obesity isn't just a personal choice. It's a societal burden that drains our resources and shortens lives. The financial toll is astronomical. In 2022, the Milken Institute pegged the annual cost of obesity-related illnesses in the U.S. as $1.72 trillion. That's just obesity. This includes direct medical costs like hospital stays, medications, and surgeries, and indirect costs like lost productivity and disability. Globally, the WHO estimates that obesity-related healthcare costs will double by 2030 if trends continue. We are not talking about a few extra doctor visits. We are talking about a healthcare system on the brink of collapse, overwhelmed by preventable diseases that stem from a lifestyle which decided to celebrate rather than confront. God damn, ADHD is having a hard time today, guys. Very, very sorry. Redefining health, the lie we're selling ourselves. By normalizing obesity, we also redefined what health means, and not in a good way. Health used to be about vitality, about a body that could function at its best. Now it's been watered down to how do you feel? Are you happy with yourself? Do you feel okay? But happiness doesn't negate biology. You can't feel great when your arteries are clogging, while your blood sugar is spiking, while your joints are deteriorating under excess weight. The Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health has shown that even metabolically healthy, obese individuals without immediate signs of disease are 50% higher risk of developing chronic conditions within 10 years compared to their healthy weight counterparts. Health isn't a state of mind, it's a state of being, and obesity isn't actively working against it. And by the way, you have to put in the classifier as metabolically healthy, because if you can't look at an obese person and say they're healthy, because very frankly, while they may be considered metabolically healthy by their test results given by the doctor, also known as their drug dealer, you can easily understand that just because you don't have diabetes does not mean you're healthy. It's the same argument where a lot of people are like, thin people can be unhealthy too. Yes, they can. They absolutely can. And just because you don't have diabetes doesn't mean your fat ass isn't unhealthy. You are unhealthy 100% of the time. Morbid obesity is unhealthy 100% of the time. If for no reason that you're in a constant state of chronic inflammation, there's also the fact that you are just destroying your load-bearing joints, your lower back, your hips, your knees, your ankles, all the bones in your feet are getting crushed under the extra weight. And there's the ejection fraction of your heart, which your heart has an ejection fraction, which is 35 to 70%. And the ejection fraction is how much blood your left ventricle pushes out to the body to, keep you alive and shit like that. And so it fills up. And then if 70% of that goes out, 100% can't go out, or otherwise it will collapse the artery, the ventricle, or the ventricle. So 70% goes out. That's very healthy. That gets flushed out to the rest of your body. But even if it's pumping at 70%, even if it's pumping at optimal, which doesn't happen in morbidly obese people, it's closer to 40, 35 or 40. Most obese people are about 2 or 3 steps away from being in chronic heart disease, chronic heart failure. So, but when it pumps this blood out, if you have twice the being, it still only pumps 70% out. It doesn't pump 140 out. So you are now, if you're twice as big as you should be, your heart, even if it was functioning optimally, could not get enough blood to technically call you healthy. So you're not healthy. Morbid obesity is unhealthy 100% of the time, period. It's wild that we've gotten away from this, you can't tell if she's healthy just by looking at her. You're not her doctor. Her fucking fupa hangs down to her knees. That woman's unhealthy. Oh yeah, by the way, she has to hold her breath to tie her shoes. That dude cannot possibly see his penis when he looks down. All unhealthy. All. I'm saying that you can look at people like that and know they are unhealthy. If a guy has a big beer gut so big that he can't just look straight down and see his fucking dick if he's standing naked, that's unhealthy. Unfucking healthy. Unhealthy. If you can't look straight down and see your pubic bone, where your pubic bone would be, without skin folds, flaps, and all like that, you should really fucking consider what the fuck you're doing, unless you're pregnant. In which case, I hope you have a great pregnancy. Anyway, this redefinition has also muddied the waters on self-harm. We've decided that calling out obesity as a health risk is fat shaming. That encouraging weight loss is oppressive. But what's truly oppressive is watching people suffer, watching them die prematurely because we're too afraid to speak the truth. The average life expectancy for someone with severe obesity is reduced 10 years, according to the 2014 study in The Lancet. That's a decade of life lost to a condition that's largely preventable. And by the way, that says obesity or severe obesity. Severe obesity back in 2014 was not severe obesity now. Severe obesity is much more severe now. We have a lot more people that are severely obese. If we saw someone cutting themselves, we'd intervene. If we saw someone starving themselves, we'd step in. But when someone is harming themselves through overconsumption, we're told to look the other way. And that is not compassion. That is cowardice. And I've said it for years. The meanest thing I could possibly ever say to a morbidly obese person in the throes of binge eating disorder is have another pizza. That is the meanest motherfucking thing I could say to anybody. The nicest thing that I could say is you are extremely morbidly obese. You need to fix this right now. And you not doing everything you can in your power to try to fix it right now means you're likely very mentally ill too, because why would you not want to save your own life from you killing it? Fucking wild. Wild, wild, wild. The societal detriment, we're all paying the price. The normalization of obesity doesn't just hurt the individuals, it hurts society as a whole. Beyond the healthcare costs, there's the impact on our workforce, our families, our communities. Obese individuals are more likely to miss work due to illness. Fact. With the CDC estimating that obesity-related absenteeism cost employers $4.3 billion annually. They're more likely to need disability support, further straining its social systems. And let's not forget the emotional toll. Children growing up with obese parents are more likely to become obese themselves, perpetuating a cycle of poor health across generations. A 2019 study in pediatrics found that children of obese parents have a 60% higher chance of obesity by adolescence. This isn't just a personal issue, it's a societal one, and we're all bearing the consequences. We've also created a culture where accountability is taboo. By refusing to address obesity as a health crisis, we're enabling destructive behaviors under the guise of acceptance. We're telling people it's okay to ignore their health, to ignore the science, to ignore their future, but acceptance shouldn't mean enabling harm. True acceptance means supporting people in making choices that lead to a better, healthier life, not cheering them on as they head towards preventable disease and early death. The way forward, reclaiming health, reject normalization. It's time to stop pretending obesity isn't a lifestyle to be. It's time to stop pretending obesity isn't a lifestyle to be celebrated. It's a health crisis to be addressed. We need to reclaim the definition of health as something rooted in science, not sentiment. We need to call self-harm what it is, whether it's by a razor blade or a lifetime of overconsumption. And we need to stop burdening society with the consequences of a problem we're too afraid to confront. This isn't about judgment. It's about truth. It's about recognizing that 90% of our healthcare spending is tied to lifestyle choices we can change, and that obesity is the biggest driver of that cost. It's about understanding that chronic illnesses like diabetes, heart disease, and cancers aren't inevitable. They are often a result of a culture that lost its way. We can do better. We have to do better for ourselves, for our families, and for our future. Let's stop normalizing obesity and start normalizing health. Real, measurable, life-giving health. Anything else is just a disservice to us all. That's my article I wrote for the day. I'm going to have by the way, I'm going to have a couple articles on clean form nutrition, which reminds me, I forgot that I got to put this back on here because boom, you can now get Nula bars. They're back in stock. They're in stock. They're for sale for pre-sale. We already had our first run. The second run is arriving in a couple of days, but get your Nula bars now from Clean Form Nutrition. Use the code Alan. The sweet and salty ones are just fucking delicious, and they don't at all incite a glycemic response to me. Like I don't get hungry. I've had one just about every other day at the end of the day as my like sweet thing at the night. It's not even that sweet, which is really awesome for me because I'm trying to get to the point or my treats are more savory that I just really enjoy than having sweet treats be that way. It's just something I'm testing out. But do get yourself those, and I will do a little bit of Q&A. I've got about 9 minutes before we head on to the next one. I did want to tell everybody that I am super, and I mean super proud about this, but you can get our book, It Was Never About Your Health, the COVID pandemic. You can get it on Amazon in ebook, paperback, and hardcover now. That is right here. So please do take me up on that offer. I am extremely excited. Shit. But we also have, let me work on this for a second. Let me work on this for 1 second. Get you the, boom. There it is. Okay. It Was Never About Your Health, the COVID pandemic. You can get this book at Amazon, ebook, paperback, or hardcover. I have my paperback version arriving to me soon that they sent me because I am a published author now, again, on Amazon. We've hopefully buried our problems from fuck being fat, solve your weight problems, 1 through 12 math willpower, which, by the way, I'm going to re-release on Amazon, I believe, as a second edition. Maybe make some minor changes and then publish it out. And then we're going to do Beyond Willpower. And then we have the Ultimate Guide to Hunger Management coming out here, hopefully at the beginning of next month. And then the book after that, I believe, is about sugar being an addictive substance. And then I'm lined the fuck up with books to fucking write and put out. I cannot fucking wait. But please go grab yourself a copy of It Was Never About Your Health, the COVID pandemic. Or if you are having trouble keeping weight off, if your New Year's resolution is just out the fucking window, we can help you. We help people develop healthy lifestyles. We focus on satiation, satisfaction, appropriate fitness level activity, mindful eating, proper sleep, stress relief, hydration, stress relief, those sorts of things. You have your own private chat with Crystal and I in our app. Plus, you get to use everything else in the app, which is also tracking your calories if you want to, suggested recipes. We can put a workout right on there for you. We have, for coaching, we have daily communication in the app in your private chat. And then we have weekly video conference calls where you either speak to Crystal or I, and then we address any issues you had over the previous week, set new homework to try to help build healthier habits throughout the course of the next week. And we follow up on the habits from the week before that we put out. So this is what we do for people. We've coached thousands of people to losing weight and keeping it off permanently. We have multiple clients that are reaching 50% of their weight loss now, meaning they started at 300 pounds and now weigh 150. Multiple clients. We have tons of clients that have lost over 200 pounds. We have probably helped people all total in the course of us doing this over the last 6 years. We probably helped people lose well over 100,000 pounds cumulatively. So please do check those out. And I will take any Q&A that anybody wants to ask. I'm ready to fucking go right now, motherfuckers. Right now. But then we're going to we're going to go to the next one here in about 5 minutes. Let me see if I missed anything up here. I like the end of the article, very powerfully worded. Amelia, thank you very much. You can follow all of my articles at the MFing COO on Twitter. I publish articles just about daily. And I'm so loving this aspect of it, right? Me publishing articles in the books and stuff like that. Because here's how, and I like to be very honest with everybody. I use AI to gather all the information up, and then I write it in my wordage, So AI produces all of the studies, everything like that I then read, because I read all these studies. I've read most of them already. Like the one from the COVID my book that we're talking about, It Was Never About Your Health, the COVID pandemic. Honestly, that one, I've read most of those studies already because of the COVID pandemic. That's why I wanted to put it together. So it's a new thing for me, but I'm loving it. Hey, Alan, what nutritional advice do you have for endurance athletes? Well, it depends on the athlete. I do think even though you're an endurance athlete, I absolutely highly suggest you start your day with protein, healthy fats, those sorts of things. Endurance athletes, I know two kinds. I know multiple endurance athletes that are carnivore or keto, that keep themselves in ketosis, so their body just runs steadily off of changing their fats, changing the body fat or dietary fat into ketones. I personally, and I know this sounds wild, but she's like, if you ask me, this is my opinion, of course, like your body's going to run better when it doesn't have to switch energy systems. Like for endurance athletes, you know how you get that like runner's wall? That is your body like basically expending all the glucose you had stored in your liver, your bloodstream, everything like that, where it feels like you can't go anymore. And then all of a sudden you get that second wind. That second wind is your body changing energy systems to start burning fat for fuel. So if you never have to change energy systems, it's better. Now, when it comes to macros and stuff like that, I couldn't possibly tell you. That's an individualized thing, right? But thank you. Oh, hang on. I told my sister-in-law about you. She's so excited to start watching. Thank you for all you do. Make America healthy again. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Lauren, I wanted to thank you for encouraging us to get our loved ones to care about their health. It's been 2 months since my father's diabetes went into remission, and he thanked me for pushing him. That's what I'm talking about. That just choked me up a little bit. No shit. Like, people can say whatever they want about me, and I take a lot of fucking hate. Like, a lot of fucking hate, right? And I just death threats. I still get death threats fairly regularly and shit like that from, not just obesity, but the COVID shit and politics and everything like that. I get all the fucking time, which I don't mind death threats, because if you want to show up at my house and cause trouble, I hope your family has their church clothes ready, because you're not coming. If you show up at my house to fuck with me, you're not leaving, like under your own power, at least, but, it's just really nice to hear that like my words help people, so I thank all you guys for stuff like that. I really do, because I really don't like what people say about me is what people are going to say about me. I know I'm right. So therefore I keep saying I'm right, but it is nice to hear that people are being helped by this. So thank you very much. I truly appreciate you. I really, it is daughter of Hagrid. Thank you very much. I thought it was funny. I thought it was way funnier than the reaction I got. So. I'm in Indiana, and during the sea times, there was a motorcycle wreck. They say the man was unfortunately passed away from the sea. Oh yeah, absolutely. They counted car accidents, gunshot victims. It's fucking pathetic. It's a lie, all of it. Thanks so much. It was great to hear from this from a professional. Thank you very much. Can you please direct us how to use AI for finding studies? I can't find a study that showed Mediterranean populations are much healthier because of their diet. I don't know if I can find that studies either, but I honestly use Grok from the AI from Twitter, from X, and I would just put in, what studies are about the Mediterranean diet, and its health effects on population is how I'd word it, and then I would read the studies. Now you can have it so find me all the studies that talk about the Mediterranean diet and health. But I would also put and give me a bullet point rundown of what each of the study says. That way you can breathe through it, and then you can decide which ones are relevant or not. Greece and Japan have almost no heart issues. We have heart issues because of ultra processed foods. Straight up, it's not necessarily the Mediterranean diet. It's just we eat in America. We eat 60 to 70% ultra processed foods. 20% is bad for your brain. It's so wild. Like that. That's the problem is what we eat, the ultra processed foods. Carnivore, yes or no? I like carno. I eat mostly carno, by the way, but I still like every other day or every couple of days I'll have something. Every other day I'll have a bar, or I'll have some rice cakes with peanut butter or something like that. I think that like the problem that people get into with carnivore, keto, everything like that, is the principles are very sound and they help you. They keep inflammation down. They definitely lower hunger. They don't lower cravings and all those things, right? But the problem is people get so caught up in like, well, carnivore says I can't do this, I can't do that. And the very second you start restricting yourself, you're going to feel restricted. Now, don't get me wrong. For some people, you're going to have to feel restricted from some stuff, but other people, it is what it is what it is, right? But I love carnivore. I love carnivore and keto. So you can see. Do you ever work out outside, and there's any exercises you suggest for working outside? I work out outside almost all summer. I love the southern heat, and I love working outside. And any suggestions for working outside? I do TRX dumbbells. I do hill sprints, all sorts of stuff. So, all right, folks, we're on to the next one. I will be back in just a couple minutes. Please do check it out. And one more time. Here's where you can get the book. Here we go.
The Holy Trinity Bundle isn't just about weight loss, it's about empowering you to find your healthiest, happiest self. Let's talk about what's in the bundle and how it caters specifically to our needs. First, we got Ember, which is not just any fat burner. It's also going to boost your mood, your energy levels, while also suppressing your appetite. And if you're worried about it being too strong, you can split the tablet in half to tailor its impact. Next, we have Alchemy NCT, which turns the carbs that you eat into energy and not fat. Yes, energy, not fat. This is our way of making sure that the meals that you eat contribute positively to your weight loss journey. And girls, we all know that we want that. And finally, no morbidity. This one's my favorite because it works while you sleep. It burns fat and controls those nighttime cravings without any stimulants, so you wake up feeling refreshed. Try it out and feel the genuine difference. Here's to new beginnings and real results.